Let's take a quick look at the timer itself, because I know a lot of you are going to be wanting to see this video and use this video often as a reminder on how to set and adjust your timer as needed. So the first thing I want to tell you is that every time that your microwave is flashing, when you get home from work, or your oven is flashing, this timer is also going to need to be set as well, because it's plugged into the house and it's just a standard analog timer. It doesn't have any other way of knowing when the power's on and when the power's off except just go. So if you live in rural America like I do, your power goes off more typically than the people that live in town. So if you notice that your sprinkler's going off every morning at 8:30 or something, right before you pull out of the house to leave to go to work, probably this timer is now off. So we need to go set the time. So I always do this and try to make this as simple as possible. So the first thing I want to tell you is that this dial is split in two. I've got it set on midnight. Here's our marker right here. So where this little triangle arrow is, I got it pointed at 12. And here's this middle piece is a clock. This is the hand that's covering the other part. You'll see here in a second as I dial on it, but it's at 12 midnight. And the reason I know that is if I look right here, I'll see AM on the dial, and if you look on the opposite side, you'll see PM on the dial. So I'm right in the middle here with this being 12 midnight. You do not need to mess with this override switch pretty much ever. There is no reason to ever mess with this. I always want it set in the middle. As long as everything's functioning correctly, you will never have to mess with this, nor am I even going to talk about this other than to make sure to keep it in the middle. So to set your time, all you have to do is grab this outer black piece and spin the dial. Just start turning it clockwise. So see, now I'm at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and so forth and so on. That's what you need to know to set the timer. The other portion of this that you need to know is your tabs here. These are tabs to make the timer float, which is the bottom float, operate. So you want that to run, ideally, in the state I live in, they request that we run it between 1 and 4 in the morning. So I push out the tabs here between 1, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it can be dang close, 1 and 4 in the morning. So your installer, whoever installed your system, should already have those tabs pushed out. If not, you need to make sure that these tabs are pushed out. Ideally, we want the sprinkler to spray year-round 30 minutes before the sun comes up so that we get evaporation of everything that it pumps out of that tank during daylight hours. That is exactly why they want it to be set 1 to 4 in the morning, is so that it sprays and that it will evaporate through the whole 24-hour period, but you're getting the most radiation from the sunshine. If you have a very landscaped yard and you're getting dead spots in the yard, you're going to have to change this, meaning, in the summertime it gets daylight earlier. So even if it sprayed at 5 in the morning, if you bump that to 5 and took it down from 1 to, let's say, 3 o'clock, 3 to 5 in the morning, it'll start spraying at 3 and finish at 5. But even if you wanted to do, to me, even if you wanted to do 4:45-ish, 4:30-ish, right in there, to 7 in the morning, you would be okay, because if you're start getting mold growing in the yard, that's how you get those round dead spots in your Bermuda grass, because you have too much moisture sitting overnight on the yard, and it'll start killing your good grass, and you don't want that. So this will still function just fine. It'll spray and it'll evaporate just as it will any other time of the year. But we're in the warmest time of the year, so that will function just fine and still accomplish everything we want it to accomplish. So, but if you don't have, like I have, I would love to have a golf course yard, but I don't. So 1 to 4 is good for me for my crabgrass and what limited Bermuda that I have. So that is how that works. And you just dial that bad boy to wherever you need to set the time. according to AM and PM. And if you get all, messed up when you first open this up and you're trying to figure out what time it's on, don't do that. As soon as you get out there, let's just say it's on a random time like that right now. What I do is I look for the 12 and I go, that's 12 p.m. So I don't really want to do that. I mean, you can do that depending on what time it is, but I always go to 12. And then I say, okay, it's 12 p.m. because as I go clockwise, it's moving that way. So adjust my time. And if it's at some other time, if you get home in the evening and you made yourself a note as you're leaving for work and it's 5 p.m., dial it over, or if it says it's 7 and it's really 5, just dial it over to midnight. Start at the 12 and now you know it's 12 a.m. and then just look at the clock and go, okay, that's 1 in the morning, 2, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and keep rolling around to whatever time it may be. Okay, that's 9 in the morning. So hope this helps you.